Elimination has always been, to me, about power picks and internal tier lists.
Right.
And they have minor tweaks they bring when responding to the opponent team. Whereas Cobb's pick and ban phases have been very heavily about flex picks and misdirection. When you think about it like that, Cloud9 would stylistically match up well against Echo Fox because you can't misdirect a team who knows what 5 champions they want before champ select begins.
Yeah, that's a good point. Cloud9 has always kind of been ahead of the game in that. They'll do things you are not expecting, even if you've done champion picks and bans for the entire night. So it makes it so difficult to play against. Corki and Trundle, there's the lock-in. It's going to be Corki for Froggen in mid. The composition, they said that, we haven't really been tested because we keep playing this one, but they're going to keep playing it because that's the one that worked.
But it's still full of flex picks if they want it to be.
Yeah, it is.
Trundle could go top lane or support, Corki could go AD carry or mid lane, whereas Cloud9, it's very clear. Jhin, Sneaky wants that. We don't care what you play against.
Right. What will they choose here? We're going to pull a support in, get their jungler over. Make sure that Hard doesn't get exactly what he wants. Now, Lee Sin is there. Hard's Elise is still on the board, so he might actually just get away with what he wants in that sense. Cloud9 always likes to take their time. Another 10 seconds and they'll lock in those picks.
Yeah. Cloud9 takes their time until they decide exactly what they want, and then they lock in as soon as possible, both at once. It's another thing that they do, so you can see they hover, lock.
Blam.
With Poppy and Morgana. Not as clean as you would have liked. Sometimes they're too fast with it. But yeah, it's to give the opponent team as little time to react as possible. Every team should do it, but not every team does.
I've definitely gotten a lot of kind of tweets about that and questions. It's like, should you show? Is it good to show? I mean, it's up to you, right?
Yeah.
Are you gonna try to mind game them and say we know about this, or it's a very big game of chess and Champions Select. A lot of moves, a lot of wrong moves, and actually thinking a few steps ahead always helps. Now for Froggen and Keith, what do they decide to pick? If it's still Flexi, I'll be impressed.
Yeah.
The Lulu actually was banned down, so they don't have that Lulu. Nautilus is left up this game, has made it quite far through. Poppy as well, could be played in that top lane. The Kale for KFO is there.
Yep. Well, if they end up going with the Janna, they can easily throw the Trundle to the top lane.
Yeah.
So they don't need to pick Nautilus, who has been nerfed, obviously. Go wherever they want. They could even throw Gragas into the top lane, as did happen in the LCK. It was against a Nautilus, though, which I think is a fairly specific counter matchup, so unlikely to happen here. Very likely to be in the jungle. But we're in the mode of flex picking, so we're just trying to figure out what are the possible...
What could Fox do? What would Cop do is basically what we're asking.
He would play Corki. That was his most played champion.
Yeah, no, that's true. You are correct.
But if he's doing pick bans, Corki's going Frog.
This composition. Ball's on the Poppy in the top lane. Jensen will be handing that Morgana over. High says one of his stronger champions in the support one. Played most of it this year.
Undefeated with it so far. Most played as well as winningest. I feel like Cloud9 should probably go with Varus here. And...
Man, would that be a lot. Oh.
See, this is why you lock in and give as little time as possible to react.
Yep.
They played Varus 2 times in a row last week in poke-based team composition, so I was expecting them to do something similar again. But instead, they just tweak it up. Lee Sin and LeBlanc completely changed the dynamic of this team composition. Now they're much more engage-focused and more aggressive.
Very interesting. I was thinking poke as well, even with Jhin in so much range of his abilities.
Yeah. I think a big reason they wouldn't have done that is they probably didn't want to run poke without Gragas or Nidalee. Gragas was taken away, Nidalee was already banned, so they'd go with more aggressive style.
Is that stopped by an Event Horizon wall? I've not seen Vagar in quite some time.
Yeah.
We're looking for an AD carry here, possibly. And that's going to be the Sivir pickup that they will be getting for the team, so they have a bit of engage for themselves. They need to run down a pretty immobile Jhin.
Yeah, Janna Sivir is insane late game. If you can get to that 70% crit on Sivir with the Janna shield. So Cloud9 will want to accelerate the game a little bit beyond that. I'm also very interested to see the Jhin versus Sivir matchup, both in lane and in team fights, because I feel like there's a lot of stuff that Sivir will be able to naturally spell shield. Both the root from the Jhin, also Sneaky is one of the Jhins who takes traps before level 13. A lot of Jhins don't. That's even worse against Sivir, because Sivir can just easily walk over it.
Little mana batteries.
And use spell shield. So I think that's one of the dangers that Cloud9 runs into when they first pick something like Jhin, is because Echo Fox is able to pick not only a power pick, but also I think somewhat of a counter to Din later in the draft.
Definitely something we'll keep an eye on going into this game. Rush did get that Lee Sin. We didn't really touch on it too much, but he could easily disrupt what this Echo Fox composition wants to do. Get in early, put them behind. You don't want to run with Sivir as much when you're behind. So it could be that easy, but easier said than done. One last time today, head over to Twitter and weigh in on this game. 140 characters, all for this box. Hashtag C9win or hashtag FoxWin. That's about all we'll take, but fill up the 140 characters and we'll try.
You know we say 140 characters or less for Twitter, but if you want to, you can just make another tweet.
Yeah.
Double your limit to 280.
You can ask chat. He's really good at twit longer.
Or you can just use twit longer. It's great. It's great because you make a typo. There's no correcting it at all.
Yep. There you go.
It's very enjoyable.
See you in the compositions on your screen. We're about to head in for the last match of the day here. Week 9, day 1. The spring split has flown by. And now the teams fight for their final wins, their final victories here on the Rift. We're going to have Echo Fox versus Cloud9. We're on the Rift. We're going to see who gets that first blood and who can push themselves up in the standings.
Yeah. Sometimes first blood doesn't even lead to being pushed up in the standings, but you never know with Echo Fox and Cloud9. Cloud9 has actually had an incredibly powerful early game throughout this entire split, amassing quadruple-digit goal leads by 15 minutes, also known as over 1,000. But
sounds better, though.
Early game, it actually looks like we're setting up for some standard lanes unless something crazy happens.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Call that.
Got wait a minute. Go!
Yeah, he could maybe fly.
Oh!
And another bind lands. Could they burn a second summoner? No.
Big was squeezing tight there for sure. Holy macaroni. What a push by Sneaky and High. Just to keep going, really, with hardly any vision in that situation.
Yeah, it's true. They're for all they knew, there could have been a Gragas in the jungle to cut them off.
Right next to him.
Big ends up having to burn flash. Keith holds off on the heal.
That's what I was thinking.
Even when that grenade got really close to finishing off Big's Janna. No harm done aside from the flash. And what it will do, actually, is prompt a late swap from Echo Fox. And they have deep wards. So if they can get around having that flash being burned on Janna, this late blind swap could actually catch Cloud9 a little bit off guard.
It's actually not too terrible. But Janna should be easy. You are playing against High. Those bindings, more than not, are going to hit. So Big should be able to keep himself safe, but it could be dangerous.
Yeah, looking at it now, both Keith and Big showed in the top lane.
Yeah.
So it gave a really early tell for Balls and Rush to know that the double jungle was happening. Very easily able to transition. They don't get harassed by Janna whatsoever. The only penalty, so to speak, is that High couldn't stop Hard's early jungle path, but in no way has this actually set Cloud9 behind.
Right. You can see High actually kind of checking that out. I say, no, too late. Let's not worry about it. We know what the deal was with Vision earlier. Let's go. Push bot lane. Boss is going to join them immediately before even entering into the jungle for more wards or Vision. They know what the objective is, and we should see quickly KFO join the top lane as well.
Yeah, very quickly. Standard 3v0. And actually, even though Cloud9 is playing reactively to it, they get the 3 people up first, and they get the wave turret first. We'll see the pushing difference, though, with the Sivir and Janna on one side versus the Jhin on the other. Jhin does get a diminished crit on turret.
Very aggressive. That's going to be close to the turret. But they used quite a bit. They wanted that kill right off the bat. Yeah,
actually a negative summoner trade for Cloud9. Jhin can use both Flash and Ignite. Froggen able to save his barrier. It's the big reason Rush didn't take the second part, the Sonic Wave Resonating Strike combo, because he knew Froggen was baiting him with barrier. Still will push him back, though. So it's a negative summoner trade, but a positive experience and gold trade. As Jensen can stay in lane and push the wave in the turret.
Should be. Yes, it does reach. You can see that on the mini-map. So good for him. That makes it a little harder for Froggen, but he'll be able to catch back up in CS. Top lane goes down. Bottom lane falls as the buckler goes off. Balls catches that one out of the air. Nice mechanics.
Really good timing on that wave. The Balls was able to get the buckler up even for the last shot on the turret. Get full gold, local gold for himself.
Yep. just kind of sitting in front of him as well. He's going to draw Keith and Big down to the bottom side. Should see Big actually start roaming a bit more, but he's still level 1. So it actually could be difficult at that point. The whole early game scuffle did not leave him in range for that experience.
Yeah.
There we go.
And he also went to do an early jungle harass to push Rush off of blue buff early while Keith was shoving up the wave. So really, none of the experience has been caught anywhere from Big. He should hit level 2. There it is.
Yep. Keith back to lane with the call. It's farm time. He's doing what he can.
And the Sivir can push faster than the Jhin Morg, depending on when they reach the wave. So now Echo Fox will be reaching this turret a little bit earlier. Balls are going to be trying and be sneaky here. He's trying to soak with the max XP range here, especially on the cannon minion.
There it is.
He gets it,
right.
so he's level 3. And now he's actually strong enough that he could theoretically go into Vision and get more experience. He's worried that Gragas will be there and he will get 3-man dove. But this is very beneficial for Balls in the long run to be able to get all this experience. Echo Fox still none the wiser.
There's also a sense of where is Balls on the map for this point as well. Obviously, Fox knows where their members are, so they're not too worried about that. He's just soaking up some experience, drinking it up on the side. He'll be seen here for a second. But top lane's getting hit up pretty hard as this is going down. Sneaky and High also doing the same thing up there. You can see the turret down to about half health, and they have a minion wave just approaching.
Yeah, I like it right here. Cloud9's going to be able to finish this turret. Finally,
it's like
Big...
ring around the rosy over here.
Yeah, finally Big leaves the push to just get Balls out of there. Meanwhile, he's almost level 4 from all the experience he's been able to reach. Cloud9 still is going to be able to bounce this wave. That's what Echo Fox chooses to do as well. Advantage Cloud9 experience-wise for sure.
So solo to Sneaky, solo to KFO. They trade and back up. So the top laner and the AD carry can get a little bit more out of that. Sneaky 44 to 36, and without his Jhin being touched in the early game, I think that could be quite scary. Froggen get a little bit of harass from Jensen in the mid. 40 to 39 is even that early back for Froggen didn't really deter his CSing too much.
Yeah. It was a really early back from Jensen as well, who just picked up a second Doran's ring. And even once Froggen returned, he had a CS advantage.
Right.
So amongst the gank, like when the gank was happening, I think a lot of minions just died to Froggen's minions, and Froggen had a slight CS advantage before the gank even.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's easily recovering and actually holds an advantage.
We'll see what he can do. Remember what he was saying to the team the previous game that they actually were able to win. He says, just let me carry the game. Keep getting bigger. Let me carry. Froggen instills that confidence in his team, and he'll be the guy on the front line, even when he's not supposed to be. We say, we can make this work, guys. We can make this work. Can Cloud9 make this work? Right against the wall. KFO tries to get himself out by going up, hoping to at least dodge the wall, but he dodges right into it. Balls finds that angle, and they are able to take him down. First blood going over to the jungler. Rush on that Lee Sin is something we're going to keep an eye on. We'll see if he can start shutting down Echo Fox even more.
Poppy's so good to gank for. Even at rank 1 heroic charge, it's a 1.6 second stun. Balls nice flash to get the angle on the wall, and then Rush at level 5 does more than enough damage to close down onto KFO, and that's also the extended result of KFO being with the team during all those pushes. So he was already at a level disadvantage to Balls once they met back up in that 1v1 lane.
Remember, it was just Sneaky and High getting the other turrets for Cloud9. Fox has put a bit more resources into those pushes here, going for a bit of a fight. The curtain gets called. That's the exhaust to slow him in. What a synergistic play with a Morgana. Soul Shackles, having been there, would have been even better. And this Jhin Morgana comp is really starting to rock the lane. They're going to be going for big. They target the same one. He'll be going down, and figure this, Balls was just in the bot lane. Now he gets to participate in the top lane. And guess who gets it? Rush, the guy who shows up last to the party. Following up for one more, they make sure that goes over to Jensen in the mid lane to make him the stronger Dane.
Yeah, I had to laugh there because that was such a Rush play. The kill was secured.
Of course it was.
And he just decides to pick up the second kill of the game on Lee Sin when they could have given it over to their first pick, Jhin, but maybe it was the difference between a support kill and a jungle kill. In that case, it's worth it. Overall, though, massive play by Cloud9. Keith was out of range to be able to return damage, and High actually exhausts for the slow, so they can start landing the bullets of the curtain call and chain them together. Then they heal, High lands another binding, and it continues. And this is when they decide to use teleport, which is smart because they knew they had burned summoners prior. Then Balls the Troll knocks Big away from Sneaky's root. And yeah, that was going to be a kill for either Balls or Rush, and Rush decides it is his.
Good weight there on the spell shield.
think Rush is going to try and go for that third kill, but smartly gives it to his mid laner Jen.
Rush no. Rush no.
Yeah.
That's basically what the comms were.
Give me kill.
Cloud9 light a quick fire under the feet of Echo Fox, and it seems like they get burned a little bit there. As they seem to be in position just a little too late. And that's what Cloud9 is very good at doing, being a few steps ahead. Here, Fox and the team try to clear a little bit over bottom as they just lost quite a bit of ground on top, but still being pushed out, having to respect Cloud9 as soon as they enter the screen.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the jungler on Cloud9 Rush is a level ahead of everyone on Echo Fox except for Froggen.
Hey, never give up, never surrender.
It's true.
There
That's
we go.
Echo Fox's strategy. They're just going to keep trying to farm this out. Froggen has a
Yep.
blue buff. He's going to be able to clear this wave very easily. They're still not down a dragon. It's an even two-turret trade. So there's a lot of things that Echo Fox can continue to think. Plus, if they get to late game Sivir, you never
Right.
know what Ricochet crits could do in a team fight. But Cloud9 has a massive advantage based on the early plays.
And Sneaky continues to farm his face off safely. You can see High just on the wing here. A buddy system for these two. It doesn't even look like they're going to get any pressure. Echo Fox is going to look towards mid here to maybe gain some ground on what could be a mid turret. And that will start with Sneaky's, I should say Jensen's health bar. But they don't grab too much off it. This may be defendable here.
Yeah, it's actually a clever move here by Echo Fox. Sneaky was trying to slow push the top wave in an attempt to deny Keith wave pressure. So Keith and Big just go straight mid lane to try and get a shove on. But Jensen does a good job using his double distortion to clear the wave, and now Keith is just going to try and swing top lane to catch the wave.
Where are you, Keith? There you are. Keith about 44 on that call left. So he's going to stick to farming these side lanes.
Rush and Sneaky are going to wait to try and pick him off. That's why he's got to be very cautious
He's
going
like-
up to that wave.
He's
It's
going
like,
to turn right and stand
Yeah.
there.
it's always really tempting as a Sivir to be like, oh, the wave's right there. Why don't I just go run up to it and use my ricochet?
Yeah, just quick bounce it. That's her build
Rush was
right
hoping for
now.
that.
It's actually at level 7. Keith with that call only has Caulfield's Warhammer, so he doesn't even have the crit he'd be wanting on Ricochet if they were to get into these fights.
Just missed one.
See if we get blue. Jensen will be able to harass Froggen a little bit more with that. Froggen would love to get some kills by now, but unfortunately only going to the side of Cloud9, and they've been using it accordingly. Here, more pressure to take down the next objective on the map. I guess you'd say the first. They haven't even gone for dragons yet.
Very true. Be
Right.
interesting to see who gets this Rift Herald buff. Whether they give it to Sneaky or Rush. Rush gets the increased move speed and damage and empowered recall.
Make it bigger, why not? 2-0-1. Already has finished item. Giant's belt as well, keeping him real tanky as he gets into these fights. Echo Fox is going to try to push themselves here. A little outside the box.
Yeah. Well, High's going to catch him here, and Hart
Yep.
was trying to sneak this dragon. So that was without the backup of a team, even though they could have just swung KFO over and had time to rush it down. Really nice game sense check there by High, thinking, you know what, someone could be doing this, and if he was, I wouldn't die if I checked.
Yep.
Now KFO's in trouble.
This is going to be really big. Look where Balls is in that top lane, pushing by himself. We're going to see Rush stay alive in this situation. Dragon could also fold over to be theirs. And now this only means Fox is going to have pressure for the top lane. Cloud9 getting everything they want here. Just 12 minutes in, looking at about a 2,000 goal lead already.
Yeah, creeping up towards
Not a 4.
2,500.
That was a 21. All right.
Yeah.
What is it?
This time KFO's just trying to get the minion wave in, screens around a little bit for the last minion because his jungler had just been pushed out of the river, so he can't stay around there. It's just not safe enough. Although KFO is already feeling the pressure of being behind, which is why he's stuck around. He probably was waiting on some Ravenous Hydra Gold. Very critical item for Toronto so he can get the waves going again. But, of course, that means Sneaky, Rush, and High could easily walk.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's pushing to his death every time Cloud9 is just in that spot. It's been working for them. Sometimes you lose ground in that sense if you're never getting anything after, but since they're in the lead, it just keeps falling in their favor already. 2-2 in turret still. After those first ones went down, it's kind of like Cloud9 has been working just past the river, say to the back of red on both sides, getting their kills there, but not pushing anything forward. Slowing it down.
Yeah. As long as they can keep picking up kills, they don't need to push too hard. They know that Balls was scaling up pretty well already with the Sunfire Cape on Poppy. He will be a asset to them when they decide to turret dive. And it's very easy for Cloud9 now to just choke around the dragon, start getting pressure in the blue jungle, and that would transition to a mid lane turret kill.
They're starting to deny resources too. It's only going to mean harder here for Echo Fox. Waiting for that Sivir ultimate to still come in. Almost up on that Essence Reaver, looking for the critical cloak and then the finalized item. And almost finished up on that call. It's been a slow game for Keith and Big. The early game of him roaming, I think, slowed Keith down as well. You can still see Big is not level 6 yet. So that as well, keeping the team spread, trying not to fight.
Yeah, really big difference between a level 6 Morg and a level 5 Janna. If Cloud9 decides to go force a dragon, I kind of think they should right now, instead of letting Sivir wave clear mid with Ricochet while the Cull is stacking up. I mean, CS-wise, Echo Fox is actually doing fine. It's just when Cloud9 is able to catch them while farming is when they're able to get the kills. KFO been split pushing well with Titanic Hydra CS-wise.
Yeah.
With deaths. And Froggen as stellar as ever, CSing in the mid lane. Here's the dragon.
Not miss a lot, that's for sure. But we also, because of that, haven't seen Froggen roaming all that too much, having participation in the fights. He's trying to be that late game factor here. Cloud9 able to pick up Dragon as Echo Fox continues to feed their bellies, try to get bigger for the time to come. 16 minutes into this one, it's looked like a lot of control for Cloud9. A lot of control.
Well, the Cull needed a couple more minions there.
We got
before.
three?
Yep, three
Trace
more
Moss.
minions. That's the second Echo Fox death where they stick around just a couple minions too long.
Right.
Also, really well played by Jensen there just to land the back-to-back chain onto Keith. Working around the Sivir spell shield too, really tricky. I'm wondering where Keith burned the spell shield amongst that, but nonetheless, Jensen solos him.
Sneaky and high to the bot lane. It's going to be a back from KFO up top. He actually may be found here. If Balls can get a hold onto him, that's actually going to be big. He does. So KFO doesn't get his back. Won't get help for Froggen down towards that backside. And now he's got to stick to fight. Looks like Cloud9's going to give up anyways. They don't want to push themselves too far in. They're being very methodical about this right now. Get to where they want, we'll back up, make sure that the pressure can be continued. Not that we lose the pressure because of a push.
The hope.
Yeah.
Although Cull finally ticked for Keith, gives him that little bit of gold boost, keeps the overall gold at 2.5 thousand.
Finally got that critical cloak in.
Yeah, finally.
A little bit more wave push.
Still no lessons leaving.
That's true. Means he's quite behind. Essence Reaver finished up Swifties onto Sneaky. Bankroll for him, 30 CS up. He's kind of making up for what is happening with Frog and Jensen in the mid lane. But Jensen picking up the kills has really been able to put himself kind of level in that sense of who's up and who's behind in gold. 3,000 gold, 2,000 actually as it ticks up for Cloud9 here. 5-0. Echo Fox is looking for a way in.
Yeah, still a gold lead for Jensen over Froggen because of the 2 kills.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe even get another Rift Herald if you're Cloud9. It is going to be really hard for Cloud9 to push properly onto this Echo Fox team. Corki and Sivir have very good wave clear abilities. And then that's the win condition for Echo Fox, right? They wave clear long enough that they get a crazy late game team fight.
It's true.
And they hope to win through that. At this point, at least. Because
Seeing
they've
that
fallen behind in the early.
Definitely seeing that manifest now. Once they get to the turret, it's going to be hard for this team to break any of those walls. These outer ones may be a little bit easier with the range they have to start it, the pressure they can add. We even see there, just about a fourth of the turret, quarter rather, going down. It's going to take a while to make that happen over and over. So Cloud9 back into the jungle. Why not take more? If we can't get to the turrets right now, we'll take a little bit more and make sure it still can get the turret later.
That was just a few auto attacks from Sivir to clear that wave out.
Yep.
And then they, like you said, took their jungle. Gold lead grows ever so slightly. Obviously, with COG's win earlier, Cloud9 needs this win to keep pace.
That's true.
For the playoff bye. Oh my god.
Lock it.
Ignite is not there. Was on cooldown. That's scary. That is Jensen for you.
Yeah.
Level 12 to level 9. Oh my god, how much health did he get away with?
That's really something we did not see Jensen do when he first came over. Very laid back, played with the team, played with the speed of the game. Now he kind of sets a pace to the game. With how he plays in that mid lane, more stealing of the jungles left and right. The shoulders of wherever they are, whatever's on the left and the right, always seems to be Cloud9 if they have a lead. They won't let little things like that go. Say, yeah, we have a lead. We'll pressure even the smallest extra things.
Yep. And they also have actually really good side wave pressure.
That too. Yep.
Balls had a game earlier in the year where he had 500 damage to champions in a Cloud9 win. But that's because he was so dedicated to the split push, getting the wave up, and then as the other team was trying to go and defend the wave, Balls just kept on pushing. By the way, Keith had 3 health at the end of that second chain.
I like thirds. Thirds are good. 20... I was going to say 20K. 20 minutes coming up. Time, not money, but time is money. Let's see. Rift Herald down. We'll have Baron coming up in a few, and that may be an option if Cloud9 pulls something sneaky out. No pun intended. As a freak move.
Yeah, the DPS, the straight DPS on Baron from Jin is pretty low. Same with LeBlanc and same with Lisa and Poppy, so a Baron sneak is very unlikely.
That's a good point.
Hard uses his body slam flash, and Jensen just jukes it with a normal ability. They're trying to go all in, though, here.
A lot onto high. The spell shield got him away. Jensen able to distort back, but that's huge. Taking out Keith that much means Keith has to find the back line immediately, and Rush threads the needle, getting himself in. Sivers down. The utility is out the door, and now it's Cloud9 to clean up the fight. Have not lost a member yet. 20 minutes in, 8-0. The mid turret will finally be theirs.
Yeah, massive team fight win there for Cloud9. Very surprised that when Echo Fox missed the initial flash initiation from Gragas, that they persisted the fight by then bringing a Sivir ultimate, because their actual pick was down. And yes, Cloud9 looked a little scattered on the map, but they easily collapsed together, win a team fight 3-0, and then from Echo Fox's doing, the stall is broken.
Yeah. A little too hard, especially the walk. I always kind of say if you're trying an engage for 3-5 seconds, doesn't work. This walk gives Cloud9 so much time to look at the fight and figure out what they want to do.
Yeah, Jensen gets to sit over the wall. Keith then has to dance back and forth. Balls keeps people inside the curtain call. Sneaky's Jin is able to get a lot of shots down. And then Rush is just a monster on the backside. Level 2 ultimate already on the Lee Sin.
Wow. Yeah, you're right.
And takes Froggen right out of the fight by just standing next to him and punching him a bunch. Really, Cloud9 not letting Echo Fox follow up on any kills and trapping them in their own engage.
In the speed of the game, you kind of mentioned it right there with just Rush's ultimate. Hard still sitting on level 1 ultimate. And we know Big pretty much just got his being at level 7, that 6-7. So Echo Fox, as you were saying, trying to buy time, pushed himself a little too hard on that one. Now have to do a little bit of ward clearing, repair what just happened, figure out how they can get back into this game. And really, that wave clear is going to be what they rely on. Objectives are alive, not something they can really contest. It's just going to make the game that much tougher. And Cloud9 feeling great. The momentum is now 7,000 gold up.
Oh yeah, this is setting up.
So 900 crit from Sneaky already as well.
Yeah, this is setting up well for tomorrow if we're thinking about COG playing Team Dignitas and Cloud9 beating Team Liquid. If those two things happen, we would have a tiebreaker match for second place between Cloud9 and COG. Both COG and Cloud9 have looked very strong today.
Yep. Really able to set it up. We see that Cloud9, CLG, they haven't really gone to anything tank top with Starshan going for all these carries. Is that something that, Ball's going to be able to match, or any of the teams? Because everybody's trying to play tanks. It's something that's won CLG quite a few games.
Oh my God, Jensen is massive. I mean, he knows that KFO wants to build the Titanic Hydra and the Iceborne Gauntlet, and that is devoid of magic resist. So very easily with the Abyssal Scepter, he takes KFO down to a really low magic resist number, and Keith gets wrecked.
Bopped under the turret. There's not much you could do about that. Cloud9 looking for a perfect kill score game. The lane swap offered up the turrets in the beginning, but Cloud9 knew that's all they needed to lose here to start getting an advantage. Give a little, take a lot, really, is what the majority of their game has been here against Echo Fox. They push out of this one, they'll be safe to fight another day. This is where we were kind of questioning it, though. Once they get up to the wall of the base, if Baron's not going to be there, how do they break it? How do they break Sivir? How do they break Corky? Let's see this one more time.
Well, this is how they break Sivir. They body her up against the turret, literally as Balls uses heroic charge for the stun. And that was just because he was trying to clear the way before it gets to the turret. It will obviously be more difficult when they're inside the base, But when they can get kills that deep into Echo Fox territory, they can then lay the wards down in the jungle and create safer Baron opportunities, especially because the pick potential of Cloud9, initially before the last 2 picks of Lee Sin and LeBlanc came in, we're thinking, maybe Cloud9 is going poke here. But they opt for a much more aggressive strategy in the LeBlanc and Lee Sin, and that means if Echo Fox wants to do this again, essentially to get into territory and clear pink wards, they're risking a lot of death.
Well, right now, it's 9-0, so it's got to be very hard here to even kind of contemplate going in, knowing you haven't gotten a kill, knowing some of the kills are getting away with slivers of health on both sides of the map. Like we said, confidence in this game. It could be a safeguard to high here. That's going to get them out safely. I wouldn't say sound, but they're safe. A little damage on that. As you were saying, Cloud9 goes into Morrow. Liquid could be a tough matchup, but Liquid's having their up and their down. So hopefully it's not a down day for them. Cloud9's playing very well right now.
Yeah, looking at the second half of the year for Cloud9, they've lost to Immortals and COG and beat everyone else.
I'd say that's pretty good.
Yeah, they were 6-3 in the first half. So far, they are 5-2 in the second half, looking to move that to 6-2.
Yeah. Always seem they can pull out a few more ounces of strength as well towards the end of the split. We saw that last year as well with High coming into the mix. Now with him here for the majority of the split, he kind of seemingly rolls with the team, and they're still moving slowly up the standings. Back out of this one, more of just a draw for Fox to see if they would kind of bite on that. Nothing happening.
Yeah. Oh. Walls cannot steal that. Yeah, there's a ward in the back of the pit, as well as the scrying orb that came down, not in the Baron pit, but outside of it to make sure they couldn't get assassinated by Jensen if Echo Fox goes into check. So not on that round. Cloud9 doesn't get the Baron there, but there is still a standing outer turret. Jensen's looking to get it.
All said, oh, turret, what turret? Then he has to take a different path home. A few extra ones still allow the team to take it down. Let's see how far they push. It's going to be Sivir towards the top side. Cloud9 could actually bite down here once they see this, but they're going to be backing off. They won't have the distance to do so.
Yeah, Cloud9 sitting on a lot of gold. There's 1,700 on Jensen, 1,500 on Sneaky, and about 1,000 on both Balls and Rush. So it's time to shop instead of pushing again. They've cleared all 6 outer turrets. If we think of this game as the turret trade being a wash, when they traded 2 outer turrets for 2 outer turrets at the start of the game, since that point, Cloud9 is 4 for 0 on turrets. It's the lane swap equivalent of a perfect game thus far, since turret deaths are inevitable in 3v0 lane swaps.
Oh. Well, once those turrets go down, Cloud9 definitely knows how to work the map. It used to be elimination and sneaky guys of providing vision everywhere. So I'm sure Cloud9 doesn't stop that any bit. As soon as they get the first set of turrets down, they can see everything, and they've been playing off of that. Rush has been able to tax the jungle constantly without Hard being there. Still levels up on him, and just one-offs here, using ultimates to start the fight from a distance and see if they can tag anybody out, knowing that Fox, once they're out like that, is the time they need to grab them. Fox gets behind the wall, and they're going to be safe if Keith can make it in. They're trying so hard to get a member outside the base. They finally do. No reason to be there for Keith. They're trying to get what they can of resources in the jungle, but the base is what needs to be saved.
They take enough shots to try to get a pick. Eventually it'll happen there. They finally land the max range root from Sneaky, or close to max range root onto Keith, and then Rush with the kick flash.
Holy macaroni! That's going to be KFO. He's alive. He'll be good. He'll make his way back to base, but Jensen, that's 3 out of 4 or 5 times he has done that.
Yeah, I mean, look at his items
Maybe
right
once
now.
that he missed.
Look at his items. Death Cap, Abyssal, Morel, and Omicron, and Sorcerer Shoes for the added damage.
4 completed before 30 minutes.
But they couldn't quite get the kill onto KFO, and they took a lot of turret damage and Poking Frog, and so they're going to pull back, heal back. Still looking like they're in great control of the game, though.
Yeah, Banner of Command built up so they can even get some off-lane work with some of these minions once they find a good sieged up one. Looks like High may actually go for some wards and sieging up that minion in the left lane. No, he doesn't need it. Already sieged. Keith to clear top. This has kind of been his home for quite some time. He's looking at the static shiv only right now on top of that Essence Reaver to 3 items with Sneaky. You can see the difference here. It is becoming extremely difficult for Echo Fox to participate in these fights right now.
He is actually up an Infinity Edge.
Yeah.
On someone. That is the worst item to be down. A third item Infinity Edge. So your most expensive third item is now on your opponent. Even Froggen, who's been farming up a storm this game, nearly keeping a 10 CS per game, is nowhere near the power level of Jensen just because of the turrets and the kill goal.
This is where they continue to bolster each other, pick each other up. If anybody's down, this is where the communication comes in. That Echo Fox can keep themselves in this game and can play as strong. Right now, they have to make the perfect moves to make that happen, and Cloud9 is knocking at the front door.
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised that Cloud9 isn't baiting around Baron right here with the Lee Sin and the LeBlanc. Instead, they're trying a 4-1 against a team with very, very good wave clear. I'd expect that they think they can accelerate this game no matter what and just get inside the base like Jensen has here and dive. They're slowly whittling down the turret even without Baron and powered minions.
It's almost like a what if. If they go do it, Echo Fox really won't chase them. Then they'll have Baron to push, and this will be less scary, less hectic for Cloud9. But it seems like they're kind of choosing at the moment to say, maybe we stop this now, or maybe not.
I think some of the reasoning here comes down to what a poor Baroning team Cloud9 actually is.
That's a really good point.
They have huge amounts of burst damage in team fights, but really poor overall DPS as far as Baron teams go. Kind of a poor champion for it in almost every role.
Yeah. Froggen. A little dangerous there, but he's safe. Summoners up across the board. Teleports aren't even coming into play now. Everybody's 5v5. So this is going to be who can hit their barriers, ignites, flashes the fastest. And Jensen looking to actually take KFO out real quick if he steps too far forward. It looks like they're actually mainly focusing on turret damage now. They're saying, all right, we'll go for damage as soon as we can get it. Don't try to go for as much of the poke. Jensen calling me a liar. Goes after big.
I mean, even a 470 ability power LeBlanc does significant turret damage on auto attack, since your AP can be used as somewhat of a ratio against turrets if it outpaces your AD.
Yep. Very stalled here for C9 now. What is there in? How do they find it? Keith stepped out before, but they still had enough wave clear to kind of stop the turret from going down. They have to respect Hard being able to throw them a cast that could push them inside the turret range. They where they don't want to be.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of feels like Cloud9's just waiting on dragons as well. If they get the 4th dragon here, they'll take less damage from turrets. Finally!
Hey!
It's like, you know what? This could also be one of those things where they didn't have faith that they could fully clear out the wards properly, so they just durationed out the wards properly. No one on Echo Fox has been in the jungle or near the Baron for the last 5 minutes, so unless it was a pink ward, there's no way they were caught in vision. Finally, Cloud9 take the Baron.
Be a little bit easier now. Balls may be able to take one of those side lanes by himself. Fox is going to be pretty hard up for getting them off the turrets. They take down the banner of command minion. But maybe their best bet is once they see those 4, if Balls does take a side lane with the Baron, they take that 4 and they Sivir ult. Hopefully into a pretty good fight. Much easier said than done. A few core items finally being finished up now that give 2 or 3 to Echo Fox, make them a little more durable in these fights. And hopefully shutting down Sneaky here. 2 frozen hearts there, basically, for him. And it's really spellcasting from the backline.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I like the 2 frozen hearts here. There's very little attack speed scaling going on anywhere for Cloud9, and they have a decent amount of magic damage. But now with Baron, maybe this 14,000 gold can hit Echo Fox a little bit.
There's the Sivir
Desperation here.
They see that Jensen is top. That's kind of why they pulled the trigger. And it is going to be hard going down in the end. The curtain call comes out. This will slow Big down, but he's going to have the dodges. Curtain call goes off. No Emmy going into Sneaky on that one. It looks like good blowback by the Monsoon. That gives them KFO to focus on, though. Only putting targets right in front of them to take down instead of helping how Echo Fox wanted it. This inhib will go down. And it looks like Cloud9 will push out to top side, possibly.
Yeah.
They're going to stay here. They're just
going back.
Minion wave.
Yeah, they're catching the super minions right here. Well, mainly just Baron empowered minutes and continue to
Oh,
dive.
deleted. Keith comes out. He gets taken down. Froggen's the next focus. He's going to get hopped out of the fight. And that's going to be the Nexus turrets simultaneously going down as Balls throws down the hammer. Says 14-0. Let's make it happen. Oh,
Oh, he
Jensen
gets him.
stays alive. 15-0 on the fountain as Jensen picks one more up. And Cloud9 takes down Echo Fox.
Holy moly, that was something from Cloud9. 15 kills to 0. They lose 2 turrets, but that's a lane swap. So let's call this an asterisk perfect game from Cloud9.
It's that
34 minutes, no deaths, no unnecessary turret destructions.
Right. The final game of day 1, week 9 here. And Cloud9 says, this was a message game. We're going to be sending a message here for our end of the split. Very strong indeed from that team. Jensen versus Froggen, it was kind of back and forth, a little bit of help from Rush in the beginning, but Jensen was able to pretty much leave that lane and take off. It really wasn't the fight that he won against Froggen, it was the fight he won against the rest of the members. That was a pretty good matchup in the mid lane, regardless.
Yeah, exactly. Froggen, the least killed member of Echo
Right,
Fox.
exactly.
Really, it was Keith with the big targeting reticule over top of his head the entire game. Everyone on Cloud9 seemed really set on getting his spell shield out and then killing him.
Yeah.
Really great job by High actually just getting the binding to burn Keith's spell shield over and over again, and that would have then allowed Jen